It's the age of revolution.
Hi guys, it's Keith here from Revolution Dance. As we know, with the coronavirus, we're all having to stay in, and one of the problems trying to do a class for people staying in is that you may not be partnered. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at different ways of sort of helping your modern jive. So when we all get back there, we'll all be phenomenal dancers, much smoother, much better, and much more confident. So the idea of today is basically we're going to do it over a few weeks, and we're going to break it all down, and we're going to take it really back to the basics, and that is how you should be using sort of hand grips, how you should be using the floor, all the things in a way that you, if you started dancing and doing West Coast swing, excuse me, not talked to anybody for days, if you started to dance West Coast swing, they'd be taking a lot of time over the actual tension in the arms and things like that. If you was doing tango, they'd be spending a lot of time about learning the walks. If you was learning, say, Latin ballroom, you'd be learning a lot of time spent on step patterns. In modern jive, we officially don't have step patterns, so to put two people together when they've learnt independently would mean that the likelihood is that they'll be dancing to a different type of beat. Some of us will dance on the beat, some will dance slightly off it, some will dance to the half beat, the double beat, some may be dancing to a drum beat or a bass beat. They may well be dancing to the voice. So because we're not structured in modern jive, which is one of the things that makes it brilliant, because you can actually dance and interpret the music as you wish. But if we was to say do a basic foot pattern for the basic move or the basket, something like that, then what you tend to find is that the ladies may be stepping more or less than the men are stepping, and slightly to a different beat. So we're going to concentrate on getting everybody listening to the same beat, using the same step pattern, the same footwork, going back on the same leg. So that way, no matter who you teach in the country, by the time you all come together, you'll be able to dance the same as you would if you was doing Latin ballroom, West Coast swing or tango. Just because modern jive doesn't have any foot patterns in it doesn't mean we can't put them there. Officially, from what my understanding is, there was about 3 different companies brought modern jive into the country, something like 35 years ago. And when they brought the moves in, they took the foot pattern out. It was brought in from France, and when it was seen in France, it did have a foot pattern. And then when it came to the UK, it was changed. And that's fine, because, you know, if you look at the numbers that go to modern jive, then I think most people like it. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. But if we can put a simple foot pattern back in, it means that you can practice in your own living room, your own kitchens, your own bathrooms, in the garden, if it's a sunny day. And by the time we all come back together, we'll have a much smoother dance. So that's what this video is all about. I'll put this at the front of every video that we do about this, just so that people jumping in halfway through understand why we're doing it in this format. And guys, we hope you enjoy. Hi guys, and welcome to our 3rd class. I'm glad you can join us, and hopefully it's cheering your Tuesday nights up or whenever you watch this. Obviously it's on YouTube, so you can watch them whenever you want. And as I say, this is our 3rd one so far, so enjoy. Today we're going to be covering spins, so before we go into that, if you missed and skipped the first part of this video, or if you've seen it before, just as a memory jogger, don't forget to move everything out of the way so you've got space. Don't forget, because today we're going to be doing spinning in different guises, so make sure you've got shoes that spin on the floor, make sure on a floor that allows you to spin, and then obviously wear a clothing that's appropriate, just something loose and casual. You're in your own homes, let's face it, you can do it in your underpants if you wanted to, but close the curtains. And like I say, no training shoes, make sure you will slide. So we're going to take it down into the different sections, so I'll show you the sections, and first of all we're going to work on our own solo spinning, then we're going to work on spinning our partners, and then how to spin when you are the partner, i.e. pushing against the hand, etc. So enjoy, and we'll move over to the first part, which is right guys, so solo spinning. To be able to spin with your partner, the first thing is we need to know how to spin ourselves, whether you've been solo, you just want to go into a solo spin, or whether you're being spun by somebody. So the more competent you are and more confident you are at doing a solo spin, the better you'll be when you've partnered up. So the first thing we have to work out on is where our body weight should be and where the position is. Often you'll see people sort of in a nightclub, more so when I used to do salsa, and they'd be in a corner somewhere, and they'd be spinning, and they'd fall over, then they'd try again, and they'd spin, and they'd fall over again. And then eventually they'd just go back on and start dancing. Now what happens is muscle memory takes over. So every time you do this spin and you do it wrong, your memory remembers that you've done it that way. And if you keep doing it that way, then remembers that that's the way it's always done it. So therefore that must be the correct way. So you cannot do a full spin and learn how to spin by trying a full spin, because you do not know where it's broken down, what part went wrong. So it might have been that you prepped it wrong. It might have been that part way through the spin you dropped a shoulder. So hopefully that makes sense, that you can't actually just learn to spin by trying to do full spins. What you have to do is you have to break it down. And the first part is breaking down how you prep it. So you imagine... Okay, so to prep the move, what we're going to do is we're going to go, I'll show you from this angle, we're going to lean and push our weight over our left foot. So we're going to start to use the floor, as you say. So the floor now, we can feel that we're gripping the floor almost with our big toe over the ball of the foot into the toes, so you can actually just grip. Okay. Now, once you're gripping the floor, if you look down and you can see a little bit of your toe sticking out from under your knee, then that's perfect. If you can't see it but it's almost there, that's absolutely fine. But if it's upright and you can see the whole of your foot, you're going to be too staccato, so you won't be able to spin properly there. And if you've gone too far down, you can't see any of your foot, you've gone past it, so you can't see anything there either because you've gone too far. So you need to bring it back so that when you prep, you grip with your toes, you look down and you can see the edge of your toes sticking out. It's the same with whichever foot you go off, whether it's your left or your right. That's the prep, that's what we're looking for. Okay, so from here what we're going to do is we're going to do quarter turns. Okay, so the quarter turn is where we just go from looking forward to bringing this foot in together, and at the same time bringing the chest down to face 90 degrees away from where you started, but your head stays looking forward. So in other words, we've gone dun, 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 dun. Okay, so the head is still looking that way, the chest is now that way. So what we would do is we would prep, spin, keep looking. Okay, as you can see, I've gone down, that was the initial push. So as I grip the floor, that takes my body weight down. The higher up we are, the more we're likely to wobble when we're spinning. So the more grounded we are, the shorter we are, the easier it is to spin. The head is the last thing to leave, so the head stays there for as long as it can, okay? So carry on looking as though that's your dance partner, boom, okay? Now the hands come round and they're going to go almost to your solar plexus. Now, your solar plexus is your main point of balance, okay, which is here. So it goes through there. It's all the same for everybody. So everybody has the same solar plexus, which is just a little bit below the rib cage. So if you push there, it's about there. And if you imagine when you see ice skaters, when they start off, they're going quite slow and they get faster and faster and faster. What they're doing is they're bringing the hands in and they're almost going through themselves, through their solar plexus. It's twofold. The first thing is, ladies, if you're the one that's spinning, or gents, if you're spinning, the hands come in to help you balance. Boom. Okay? Secondly, as you come out of that spin, the hands are there, ready to be offered. Okay? So you get that offer as well. Back to this. We're going to break it down into 5 parts. We've done the first part, that's your prep. We've done the second part, that's your quarter turn. Okay? From here, we prep, we spin. The chest is now to the banners, the hands are back where the solar plexus is, and the head is still facing my dance partner. Now this is the tricky bit because everybody's different, our necks are different, the amount of movement we have is different with age and with accidents we've had over the years. I damaged mine playing football many years ago, so I don't have as much manoeuvrability as I would like. However, I'm still going to keep my head as far round as possible, but it's actually facing over there, but it's only moved with my body. Does that make sense? The head itself hasn't moved on its own. It gets taken around with the body. Okay, so as soon as I lose manoeuvrability, it starts to come with me. Once we get that and we're halfway round, we've got the 3 elements. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now notice I'm still down. The left foot is the pivotal foot, the right foot has joined it. Okay, so it's almost like Dorothy shoes. What we're going to do is we're going to go, boom, the head stays there. Now, what we've done, if I slow that down for you, is the head has stayed where it is, the body's moved round, and we've got to that point there. We now have to come out on the 3/4 of the way around. So as we go round, the head now starts to catch up with the body and the head are now facing the same way. Okay, so we've done 3/4 spin. We've prepped, we've started, the head stays where it is, the head stays where it is. It now starts to catch up the shoulders and the chest. Okay, so that's the next stage. So once again, we're going to go and prep, spin. We both come back to this position here. Okay, so if we do it one more time, we prep, spin. Okay, back to here. Now what's happening at this point is I'm still staying down, the legs are still together, the arms have still come into here, okay? But now the head, which is caught up with the chest, now starts to overtake and comes back to you, my dance partner. As it comes back to you, it will then whip the chest itself round, okay? And that's known as spotting. So we've spotted on our dance partner to start with, or you may be spotting on a part of the room if you're doing an outward spin, but we're spotting on something. I'm spotting on you guys, boom, bang, I'm back with you, okay? So the head has gone, stay, 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 slowly come round, catch up, catch up, catch up, go past, brings the body round. At speed, we would go 1, 2, 3, we're back by 4. Okay, now obviously when you're spinning, that's just counting the elements in the spin, it's not counting the beats. On a spin you would normally do it on 1 beat, and 1, boom, and we're back for 2, okay, for the second beat to actually start the dance move again. You can do double time, so you can go twice as quick, or you can half time it. Nice and gentle, okay? But try when you're doing this to bring your legs in, your arms in, your body down and stay there. Boom. When you finish, you can then raise to go back up. Okay, so that's how to prep and get everything ready for 1 full spin. Now, if you're wanting to do double spins, then what happens is, once you've got 1 spin correct, you cannot just do 2 spins, because what happens then is you get the first spin in, and as you get to the second spin, you may be stopping, but you may be overbalancing. And if you try to do 2 spins, you wouldn't again know where it's actually gone wrong. So the idea is, if you're going to do 2 spins, you will break it all down again. You know how to do 1, boom. Okay, we then prep, quarter, okay? So once you're prepped, you start exactly the same again, doing a quarter spin. The head's the last thing to leave. Okay guys? The next section we're going to be doing is putting that together with the ladies. So we're going to teach the ladies how to be spun and how they have to spin, and then also how the gents spin the ladies, okay? So we'll see you in part 2. Part 2 now, guys. And what we're going to look at first of all is how the ladies spin. I'll have Jane demoing this with me in a second, but the first thing is, ladies, it's no different than this prep, okay? So as you're coming in to spin, the ladies, this hand stays here, because that's going to go through your solar plexus if he's spinning you with this hand, or vice versa. So if you're being spun with this hand, you know, you've gone into that position there, you push down into the floor. Now the only difference here is this hand that's being spun is going to push gently up, okay? And that's pushing into the gent's hand that will be pushing gently down. And what happens is, and we'll give you this grip in a second, that gives you that it creates a really nice centre over the floor, using that. So before, when we were saying about bringing this foot in and then going over it, and not too much, not too either way, now we've got that right. This hand now is just being pushed down slightly by the fellas, by our leads, and it helps us ground, okay? So we're a bit more grounded now. So as we get spun, that's keeping us down and it's keeping us centred, okay? Now the hand grip for the ladies is like this. Ideally what you want to imagine is that you've got yourself a cornetto, And as you put that cornetto up, you're going to put the ice cream onto your head. So you can see from there, it's only a few inches away from the head. Okay, it's almost like if you was a unicorn, you'd be holding onto the horn. Okay, and that's not a euphemism, so please be careful. So we're holding on there, and what happens is we create that little cylinder. So the cylinder goes upside down. The gent's hand, and we'll show you this when we partner up, goes down to there, and then we can push down while the ladies push up, and that creates the perfect grip. So ladies, as you spin, boom, okay, almost like feigning it. Oh, oh, oh. Okay, which is how you probably feel with some of the spins. Boom, push down, get centered, we're in position. So ladies, that's your positioning, and we'll do the gents positioning now, and then we'll put it all together. Okay, so the third part is for the gents, and gents, what we're going to do is, if we're spinning, say with our left hand, different ways of spinning, but if we prep and then we bring this spin in, okay, what we're doing is we've got our hand from that position to that position, okay, so we're now able to push down, and the ladies are pushing back up, okay. Now the push is gentle, all it is to aid the lady. It's not to force her down, it's not to commit her, all it does is give that little bit of resistance, it pushes and it makes you go, oh, stay down, okay. So for the gents, what we're going to do is we're not going to scoop around, there is a technique for that, but it's usually for the big wide spins, especially if you're sort of bringing the lady back up off the floor, it starts wide and it comes in closer. But for a tight spin on the dance floor, it's a case of not going round the lady's head, we're going to use this hand to push down, and we're going to use the wrist to scoop. So if you imagine our ladies have got that cornetto, what we're doing is scooping the ice cream out, okay? And by doing that, the wrist only is going round, okay? Not the hand. So what we've done now is we've kept that centered over the lady's head, and that goes round the lady's head so that you get a really nice tight circle, and that keeps the lady from wobbling. The wider the circle and the more uneven the circle, the more that the lady will feel like she's being pushed out of her own centre. So it's really important for the gents to gently push down and just use that as a slight little curve, just like that, round the lady's head. Okay? Now, when we finish this, guys, and we've got this spin, what we do is we spin, we're going to stop high and allow the lady's hand to go into this hand, into our palm. And at that point there, we're just going to lower down, and as we lower that hand down, that's where we finish. Okay, we're now going to bring Jane in, and we'll show you how to do that as a couple. Now, the last section is where we put it all together so you can see it. So what we're going to do first of all is we've got a nice little loose hand grip. There's no gripping of the fingers. That's the last thing that we're going to do. So as we get to, you can see just little curled fingers. As we get to this prep part, I'm getting ready to get this hand to push down towards the lady's head, and then after that I'm going to stir just with the wrist. So that's what we're up to with this point. So we're going to go 1, flat palm 2, spin 3, there's the block, allowing that to lower and step the lady back. Okay, so one more time is 1 out, in 2, spin 3, lower for 4. Okay, so once again, and 1, and 2, 3, and 4. And as you can see from that Jane spinning, the last thing to leave is her head. The first thing to come back to see me is her head. Okay, so last time we're going to go and 1, and 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and you can do that with either hand, so if we're there, it's exactly the same. Boom. Okay, no different. And again, if we was to prep this way and spin the opposite way, everything's the same, the hand grip, everything. Always, just one last tip on this, guys, is when you're spinning the lady, try to use as many fingers as possible as you push round, okay, because if you just use one and then the lady falters, if she grabs that and falls, it will break it, okay. It happened to me many years ago with a professional partner, and she took the joint completely out there, the knuckle came out, and it stopped me dancing for a fair few weeks. So always scoop with a couple of fingers, guys, never one finger. Guys, we hope you've enjoyed the video so far. Carry on dancing, and if you've got any suggestions, please text, email me, or Facebook me or below on our YouTube page. And as I said guys, if you want to donate to these videos, please feel free. The donation button is just below. There's just a little link, and like our videos. Subscribe and you'll get them all the time now. So again, thank you very much. Enjoy lockdown. Bye for now.
Let's burn together.